I'm Mrs. Immaculate Okoba, the wife to the late Patrick Okoba.
My name is Innocent Ositadima Okoba. I'm the eldest of 4 children by Mr. Patrick Okoba.
My name is Chukwudumebi Okoba. I'm the second son of Patrick Ezenwan Okoba.
My name is Ungazi Okoba. I am the third born of Mr. and Mrs. Patrick Okoba.
My name is Emeka Stephen Okoba. I am the 4th and the last child of Mr. Patrick Okoba.
My husband, Patrick Okoba, was an excellent man, a loving husband, and a good father to the children. He's a man that loves peace. He cares. He is a husband that really can share everything he had with me and the children. He lived a life worth emulating and taught his children the best way to live a life on this earth. He was a man that feared God and lived for God. He served God till the day he gave up the ghost. He prepared himself and always tell me that where he is going is closer to him than where he's coming from. And that he's prepared to give up everything to serve God because he will always want to make heaven. That has been his utmost desire, to make heaven. I missed him so much. And I know that he's in a better place. He loved God, and that is the strength we have, the children and I, that he's with the Lord.
My father was a very hardworking, steadfast, and very cautious man. As far as back as I can remember, growing up in our family, he instilled in us to be very family-oriented. Grew up in a Christian home. He instilled us to believe in living a righteous life, treating everybody with the way we want to be treated. Grew up in a very disciplined family. My father was very key on education, very key on discipline, very keen on having family first. I can remember my father. He worked as a banker, and with that attitude, he has the attitude of being very accountable. That's something he also taught us, to be very accountable for our actions, be very observant, and be very patient. Being the eldest child, I had a very big responsibility. I strive to be a very good example as far as character is concerned, be of a good example to my younger ones. I had very good fond memories of the anxiety, the anxiousness for him coming back home after work towards the end of the week.
Describing my dad in one word it would be a little bit difficult because my dad has so much qualities, but when I think about it, one quality that stands out is my dad is a very gentle man. He has a gentle spirit. He's a man of peace. That's one thing about him. Another thing that really defines him, he's a family man. All through our lives and just growing up, we watched my dad provide for us. The family values that he instilled in us defines him. He's a man that loves his family. The third thing I can think of also is God-fearing. My dad is a God-fearing man, and he loved God. These are the things that will really define who he is. In my career today, I can see the influence of my father and the lessons that he has taught me throughout my life. I was opportune to have my dad sit in some of my public speaking. Those little corrections, stage presence that my dad will always correct. He was one of my biggest critics, but also one of my best supporters. These are things that I really miss him. I remember one time I was speaking and I had my hand in my pocket. And after the meeting, my dad pulled me to the side and he said, when you talk to people, it's not polite to have your hand in your pocket. Simple things like that, little things like that has really enhanced my career today in anywhere I find myself.
My father, he's an example of what the right and the perfect father can be. And there is no word that can describe what he has done for me in particular. And as a man, there are certain qualities that I've learned from him, and I hope that I will take it with me and use it to start my own family, and hopefully I will continue his legacy and what he has done for not just me, but for my other brothers and my mom especially. And hopefully we can continue his legacy here on earth and make him proud. He has been a role model. He has been a teacher and an advisor. He has been a protector. He has been very caring and beyond what you can imagine a father can do for his son. Words just cannot describe him, because my heart right now still aches for losing him. I really would love for him to still be alive, but I know that God has a purpose for everything, and his time was now, and he is gone. And I every day I would thank God for him. Though he is gone, but I think he has gained, the world has actually gained 4 young men, which myself part of, and my older 2 brothers, my younger brother. So the world has gained Mr. Patrick Okoba in 4 different ways and 4 different ideas, and his legacy will live on through us. And I hope and I pray that whatever his wish for humanity is actually to try to push humanity to the next level in the sense of love, happiness, and peace. And I've learned that from my father, that there's no greater purpose in somebody's life than the purpose of helping somebody else to be better in their life. So for that, I appreciate my father, Mr. Patrick Ezewan Okoba.
When we talk about my dad, there's a lot of memories that come to mind. Something about my dad, he's like a peacemaker. There's something about him that you just can't recreate. There's something about him that's just unique in his own ways. He's not much of a talker. He's not much of someone that likes trouble. He's more of a peacemaker. But with him, he's like I can't talk about my dad without talking about my mom. They're like 2 peas in a pod. Like, they both are just one. I think it took me several days, actually a few weeks before I was able to kind of sit down and accept it. But I think what makes it easier for me to accept, so I have my personal walk with Christ. And I think God has a way of doing things, and everything happens for a reason. So after a few weeks of being sad and crying and just trying to understand why this happened, but I think the acceptance came from my belief in Christ. Yeah, so when you talk about my dad and the way I was easily, or at least accepted the fate that came on February 3rd, it was just the fact that I know he lived in Christ this last few months. Even the last time I came to Benin in 2016, there was this one time I walked into this compound and I saw him studying the Bible, and for me that was a sight that sticks with you for a long time. And finding out that the last few months that he lived, that he was actually overly active in church, helping people in the church and in the community. I think for me, those are the things that when I look at it and look at my belief, my personal belief in Christ, and just understanding what God has in plan, that in the Bible, I mean, to die is gain. So when I think about all that and I sat back and I just accepted everything, yes, I cannot make any more memories, but what I could do is accept the memories that he gave us. And what I could do is, even though I can't make memories with him, the people that he left behind, these are people that have a part of him, and we could continuously make memories day after day. And from February 3rd to even today, to be honest, we've made memories. I don't think we've talked about my dad this much ever. I don't think we've shared memories about my dad this much ever. I'm thinking back to my wedding. I'm thinking back to the pictures that I took of him the last time I saw him when we had the grandkids. He stood in front of the house, of my older brother's house, and we just took a picture of him. And you could just tell, you could see the smile. There was this smile that he has is just unique. And I think that's one of the things that I probably miss the most, though, is that there are a few things now that I'll do, I'll be like, man, yeah, that came from my dad. But so those are kind of things that I like. But the last memory was when he came to my house. He asked how much I paid for it. And I was hesitant to kind of tell him how much I paid for it because it was a lot. But when I told him, he actually looked and he just laughed and smiled. He said, "Can you pay? Can you afford it?" I said, "Yes, I can afford it." He said, "Well, if you can afford it, the house is beautiful. The house is good. It's not too big. It's just for you and your wife." And he said, and he looked inside and he saw the dining table. He said, "Well, I see 6 chairs. So are you telling me that she's going to be pregnant sometime soon?" So I just laughed and I told him, I said, "Well, she's not pregnant, but the plan is to have kids in the future." My dad just have ways of doing things and making things happen that you can't understand until after the fact, and appreciate everything that he's done. Without him, I know for a fact we wouldn't be here. Him, my mom, and my brothers. I know for a fact I wouldn't be here. And so for that, I just want to say I love my dad. He's a great man. We'll continue to do what we've planned. Nothing is changing. That's the good thing, because he did a great job. And that's one thing I want him to know. If you could see this right now, it's just to say, hey, kind of just look back for 5 minutes and to say, you know what, I actually did good. That would be what I want my dad to think about, because he did great.
Daddy, I'm going to miss you so much. The way we go out together, we drive to everywhere together, and we come back in the evening. You have been a great partner to me, an encourager. I will miss you. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I pray that God will just give me that grace to bear your absence. I pray we will meet on that resurrection day, because I know you are with the Lord.
I love you. If you're listening, Daddy, if you're listening anywhere you are, I believe you are with the Lord. I really miss you and I love you. And thank you. I'm very grateful for the life you lived, the example you set, and the qualities you gave me. Thank you so much.
Okay. I, Ngozi Chukwuka Okoba, will forever love my father no matter what.
Mr. Okoba, Dad, Pops, I call him Pops. Pops, I truly love you. I know I probably haven't said that before to you on a one-on-one. I let my actions speak for me, but for right now, I'm going to use my words. And I'll say, I love you, Dad. You did great. We'll continue to live our life as you've planned, and trust and believe. You won't be sorry for everything that we've done. I love you and appreciate you. Thank you.